so dope because backstage is like actually the best because backstage you meet the other competitors, you meet other coaches, you meet other women, who are probably just as nervous as you are, and you actually get a chance to bond with other competitors. So that was actually it was a good experience. It really was. But at first I didn't know what to expect. I kind of just winged it the first time. You know, I don't
Yeah,
think I prepped well because I didn't know what I was doing. So
yeah. You got to think about it. This is people don't understand what it takes to be a bodybuilder.
yeah,
The factors go on in it, especially like I said again, getting out there. Because you know what, we got to see you half naked. Because the fact is, we can't see much of anything if you're wearing a Parker or something like that. I mean,
yeah,
we got to see the details of the body.
yes,
We got to see everything that's involved with the work you put into it. And
yeah,
people got to understand when people who are sitting in the crowd don't understand what it takes for you to get there. The dieting, the training. I know on stage, I know we talk with some ladies that people don't understand you're halfway starving, dehydrated, you're tired, but
yeah,
you come out here with this presentable physique, with the development and all the conditioning you put into it.
yeah. And you still
Here,
got to
this is
smile.
yeah.
You
Here's
still
my
got
man KL. She
you still
looked
got
nice for me to
yeah,
record at her last show. That's pretty cool. And
yeah.
what was your last show? When you last competed?
Oh, the OCB Big Apple. It was August 4th of this year. It was in Brooklyn. Yeah. It was,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you're not familiar with Brooklyn, but it was downtown Brooklyn at Long Island University.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, 'cause I know he mentioned he was there because the venue was a little smaller compared to any of most other venues. I
yeah,
know it's just something different because I've been to a bodybuilding show. I've been to a IFB show that was like about a couple years ago. That was a Savannah Pro. That was
yeah,
by Linda Murray. That's a lady who really changed the face of bodybuilding. Also,
yeah.
we have here another comment from a man says, "I approach, I should have approached when I saw you, but you were occupied." Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's K. That's K, right?
yes, yes, KL. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember like after the show, I was like I won, So I was actually just I was taking it all in. I was like, did this really just happen? Yeah, like my sons were there. My friends came out. You know, I had some family that came out to see me. So I think when Kay told me, I was probably just outside taking pictures by the OCB. Right? I don't know if Kay is on, but he might have seen me when I was taking pictures by the OCB. What do you call it? Symbol or whatever, where you could take pictures and stuff. So that's probably where he saw me because he said I was talking to people. So I'm pretty sure that's where he saw me. So, but I wouldn't have minded if he came up to speak to me. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
So,
He has come. He says, my second bodybuilding show I attended because I know was it a few months ago he went to New York Pro, and New York Pro, that's a show that's sponsored by Bev Francis and her husband,
yeah,
or ex-husband now. What they're not together anymore.
yeah.
And why did you choose? Because you did compete in EBC. Why did you choose the OCB?
Okay, so during the pandemic, I was like, I joined a Facebook group called Women Who Lift Weights, and then we were like, we kind of we couldn't. It was during so all the gyms were closed. It was during the pandemic, so we kind of just like women who like lifted weights. We kind of like just bonded, and we kind of like just exchanged ideas of how we could still stay in shape and still work out, and still try and maintain some of our muscle, even though all the gyms were closed. And so we started sharing pictures of past preps and past shows. So I shared a video when I was in prep for my first show, which was an NPC show, and then one woman said, "Yeah," I said, "You should do OCB." I was like, "I never heard of OCB." She said, "No, it's a Natural Bodybuilding Federation." I said, "Okay, I'll look into it." And I looked into it, and this was like back in 20. It must have been like 2020. And then for some reason this year I was trying to pick a show that I wanted to do. I was going to do an NPC show. This was last year. Then I was like, let me look at the OCB website again. And I looked at it, and I just started to scroll down to see what shows were upcoming. And I saw a show in Brooklyn in August, and this was last year. I'm definitely going to that show. It's a train ride. It's like a 20-minute train ride from where I live. So I went to the show, and the energy was like unbelievable. They were so supportive of the competitors, and then there were only two figure competitors. I was like, nah. But it was like, I was like, that, it was like, we can't have that. I was like, I got to compete in this show. Like, we need more figure competitors. And that's the rest is history. And
Yeah.
that's how OCB.
Yeah, it's kind of like with women's bodybuilding, especially in the amateur. Not as many women's bodybuilders because they want to
Mhm.
push out the division.
Yeah,
And with figure, it's a division that's been around for quite some time. I think it's one of the third oldest divisions, because it kind of spin off from fitness, if you know that. Now, OCB, for those people who don't understand it, what's the whole moniker letter? Because most of the guys who follow me don't know what it is. Can you share it about the OCB?
OCB it stands for Organization of Competitive Bodies. It's natural bodybuilding. It's drug free.
Hmm.
That really is the difference between OCB and other federations. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah, 'cause-
when I say they're drug free, it is completely drug free. As soon as I stepped off the stage, if no, I'm not even exaggerating. As soon as I stepped off the stage, somebody stopped me and said, "Come on, we gotta take your urine." I didn't get a chance. I had my trophies in my hand. She goes, "Put it to the side and let's go." And when I tell you, she took me to the bathroom and she stood right in front of me. She said, "You got to give me a urine." I was just like, "Okay." I was like, "I can't pee if you're watching me." It was just so uncomfortable.
Hey, that's what I can you mind just turn around or something, or
Yeah,
because I got to
yeah.
come on, you're just that's nervous. I mean, I
And
know
then
I
you
talked
completely
to
dry. I was completely dry, completely depleted of water. I was completely dry, so I didn't have any really, I didn't have any pee, I didn't have any pee in me. So it took me 5 minutes to pee, 5 minutes.
Mhm.
But when I got the urinalysis back, it's like this. Like I don't know half this stuff. Like I know some of the steroids. I'm familiar with some of the names of the steroids, but like the list was extensive. It was like 2 pages long. I was like, I don't know what half of this stuff is. But when I tell you
Mhm.
they test for everything, they test for everything. So don't think you're gonna go in there and like, okay, I'm gonna do stuff and then I'm gonna try and clean up before the show. Cause nah, their tests are very very thorough.
Mhm.
So unless you didn't do something for years or whatever, but no, and you get a polygraph. They give you a polygraph the day before the show, and they just ask you a series of questions like, "Have you ever done steroids? Have you done anything in the last 6 months?" It's like just questions based around if there was any like use of drugs or use of PEDs, to help enhance your to help enhance your physique. So so that is the difference between OCB. They really do test for everything.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what? I think if you look at the difference between like organizations like the NPC and OCB, that is the factor what separates it. Because most of the competitors they try to put more natural. I know they try to push for more natural
yeah,
in the NPC. Just saw a while back. If you follow him, is Tyler Manning. He's the grandson of Jim Manning instead of JM Manning. They talk
yeah,
about they're going to like in Pittsburgh. They're going to do a pro qualifier
mm,
NAP show with their upcoming Pittsburgh Expo. So
okay.
maybe, like I said, maybe if somebody might be interested in, check it out. I'll send you a link from Tyler Manning if you want to listen to it and maybe give you a thought about it.
Mm.
Here we got here, just one man. he's always he says he says, yeah, it's serious. Like it almost sounds like prison. Yeah, it says, and he says, yeah, I'm talking about the test. Yeah, because you have to it's a serious thing, especially in an organization where performance enhancers are not needed especially. But when we look at bodybuilding, they always pick it up because of the use of steroids, but there's more steroid use in the mainstream sports, or things such as birth control and
Mm.
medical stuff and inhalers. But it's so easy to pick on bodybuilding. Even with you're in a division where it's organized, where it's steroid free. You ever get those comments from people saying, "Hey, she's too buff, she's too shredded. She can't be clean."
Yeah. One person asked me if I started my cycle, and she wasn't talking about my period. She was asking me, if I guess she started if I started my cycle of my gear cycle, what do they call it, my steroid cycle. But I was just like, I was like, nah, I'm natural. I don't do steroids. But when you get to a certain point, like when you get super lean, like you get very vascular. When I got like very very lean to when I was like in my last few weeks of prep. When I tell you I had veins everywhere, I had veins everywhere. So I can see how people might have thought that I was doing something, but I actually don't do anything. So, but yeah, people have asked. Not too many, but people have asked if I was doing anything.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I kind of like. Actually, I'm kind of like. I get a little flattered when they ask. It's like, wow, I look like I do steroids and I don't. So
Well, like I said, it's a lot difficult to build muscle naturally compared to if you use enhancers because you're not as big compared to if you look at someone like a particular bodybuilder in IBNPC and compared to maybe someone OCP, the looks are different.
yeah,
I've interviewed a lady a while back. Her name is Samantha. She's a natural bodybuilder,
yeah,
and her look is kind of different because I remember when she did Pittsburgh Pro. It was her and two other ladies,
hmm
and they were told to get bigger. But it's hard to put on size like that
yeah.
if you're a natural competitor.
hmm it'll take a lot longer because my chiropractor, he's actually he deals with sports medicine, and he used to play football, and he actually works with a lot of bodybuilders, and he was saying it takes about it'll take you about a year to gain 7 pounds of muscle naturally. But if you take steroids, you can gain 35 pounds of muscle in 1 year. So you're right, that is a huge difference. And with steroids, you can build a lot faster, and you can yeah, like it helps you with the recovery. You can recover a lot quicker, so you can still keep building.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't knock what anybody does. It teaches own, but I don't know. You got to take the good with the bad with everything that you do.
Yeah.
You
Here we
know.
got a comment. This is from my man Balls Deep. Shout out to Balls Deep coming through. He says, "Good
Well,
evening, gorgeous." He's a fan. Also, he says, "Peace and blessings, beautiful." He
mhm.
says this. He says, "Smash the like button." Appreciate that, brother. And he's from Chicago in here. That's his
Okay.
moniker. He's from Chicago. And this one, he says, "Schmo gang, 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 gang." Because like guys like myself, I've been following body for a long time, and I'm gonna admit my crime to you, Nicole. I am
Okay.
a muscle curve smo. I mean, it's just some of you ladies. It just excite me. It just when you're up there on the stage, you're buffed up and you're oiled up, and it just makes something about me just feel a little stranger. I'm sorry about him. I try to keep him in
Okay.
that part of me. I mean, yeah. So now you are a pro. When did you get your pro card? What was that feeling like for you when you finally got your pro card?
It felt surreal because that was my second show. It was a different federation, but I became like pro in one show. No, whereas if it was NPC, if I qualified to become pro in NPC, I'd had to I've done like a different show to get my pro card. But that's another thing about the OCB, how dope it is. Is like I was an amateur, and then I came in as an amateur, and I left that show as a pro. So yeah, it felt great, and I really had to just just wrap my head around the fact that wow, I'm a professional bodybuilder now. Like I'm not an amateur, I'm a professional. I am a professional bodybuilder. Like it's in black and white, it's in the books. So
Mm,
it's a good feeling. It's a good
yeah.
feeling. So
Yeah, you put in that work in that time, and with like the NPC, you have to do a regional show, and then you have to do a nationals.
yeah.
We're talking to a lady who I'm confirmed with. We're talking about what she's going to do because she was planning on doing a national show this year, but say
hmm
her and the coach was thinking about going to do next year and do national. Here we have here a comment from my man KL. It says, when did you first notice you gained muscle? So what was the process like for you? When you feel like you were ready to compete?
Um, I I actually didn't notice it at first. Like I always have my biceps. I always have toned biceps. But then people were telling me like, "Wow, you have nice shoulders." I was getting that a lot. Like you got great shoulders. So that's where I came up with the my IG handle, respect the shoulders. Remember back in the day when what was it when the baby went into the studio? I think it was 105.1 studio and said put some respect on my name. So that's around the time that whole like to put some respect on my name. So I said I'm gonna use that. Plus I was trying to first I was gonna be like put some respect on my shoulders. I was like, nah, that's too long. I got something that's like simple that anybody if anybody wants to follow me on IG, it would be something easy. I was like, respect the shoulders, all one word. so
Yeah, that's cool
so
because when I started my YouTube channel, I used my name. I used my name George Page. That's my middle name. And
yeah.
then there was another guy named George Page, And then I said, I was talking to a friend of mine, I need to find a name for myself. Says, well, George, try this one. Says, well, I got it. All the ways George Page. And I have different monikers
Yeah.
like I'm sometimes I call myself the pervy sage because a friend of mine called me that because he comments on you're a pervy sage, George. Like that's
Yeah.
Jiraiya from Naruto. And also I said, you know what? How about call myself the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk? Because it's able to talk to you ladies and get knowledge from you. We have here from my man KO. He always says KO should ask her Natty or no Natty. And let's talk about Kenny KO. He's if you ever heard of him, you
Uh-huh.
know. Yeah, he's I know a lady a while back who was with the Olympia. He asked her that she didn't play for the Okido. Shout out to Natalie Ray Wolf. So, folks, while we got her here, we're going to jump into Nicole's social media. You want to follow her. Her links are in the description of this live stream. If you want interest in supporting her in her path as a bodybuilder in her career in this sport, show that support. But and Nicole, I don't say this to offend you. I just say this because it's a warning to guys out there. Guys, be respectful. No D pics. She got kids, man. Come on.
Yeah, please no defects. Oh, gross.
Yeah, I like I said, Nicole, I've become friends with some of these ladies that tell me crazy shit, and I mean, it's sad. I mean, guys, come on. You get more with
Yeah.
a silk glove than iron fist. I know what you're doing with that iron fist. So we're going to jump into the social media for a bit.
Sure.
And here we go. So wait, there we go. And here is I think this was the show where you got your pro card at, or was this another show?
Oh, yeah, that's the show I got my pro card. Yeah.
Wow, you just got a wow. Yeah. And like I said, that's a big difference between natural and the more enhanced competitors. You have a great look,
Oh, thank
and
you.
you really worked hard at to get there. And also we have here, she's doing this little video here where she's doing a little talking. We'll listen to it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to demonstrate how to do a hack squat. This is one of my favorite machines. It works this whole area. It works your quads. It works your glutes. It's very challenging. You got to go down as low as possible. So here we go. I'm demonstrate the hack squat. Okay. Pick yourself up. Release the weight. Bring your feet down about shoulder width apart. Make sure your knees don't buckle in. Make sure they come slightly at an angle. All right, and when you go down, you got to go down as far as possible. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Almost like you're sitting down, and then pause a little bit at the bottom. And don't forget to breathe. Good. And rack the weights back up.
Like when you're working
I'm
out,
going to demonstrate.
what's your favorite exercise that you really like doing the most?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I really have I don't know if I have a favorite. I Oh yeah, Bulgarian split squats. People hate those.
Yes. I actually here's a true story. I interviewed a Bulgarian, a while back. She got a pro card a couple years ago, and I interviewed her. She loves Bulgarian split squats.
Huh?
But anybody that loves those things, you're a freak.
Yeah, it's I say it's an acquired taste because I didn't like them so much at first because they hurt like hell and they burn. But I got great results just from doing them. Because my coach Sam, I've been doing Bulgarian split squats for like the past 4 years. I've been working with her. So
And here is your coach, and wow,
yeah,
y'all both lovely ladies. This is a poor man's dream. You know, it's like a chocolate and vanilla swirl. And how long you and Sam been working together?
for 4 years.
Hmm.
4 years. I met her online, the same website I was telling you about where I found out about the OCB, the same Facebook group. That's where I met her. I met her in that group,
Well,
and
as you know, it's today is her birthday, so happy
yeah,
birthday, Coach. You
yeah. Happy
know,
birthday, Sam.
yeah. And where's she from? Because I remember you mentioned her in the KL's interview.
Oh, she's from the UK.
Oh, yeah, that's far away,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And it's good you have a good relationship between the both of you.
yeah.
So,
Definitely. She's
yeah.
been through a lot together. Yeah.
And you mentioned your sons. How old are your boys, and what they think about their mom being a bodybuilder?
Oh, well, my youngest one is Octavius. He's 14. My oldest is Divine. Divine is 23. Yeah, that's my little one. And he
That's your
wants he
baby.
that's the baby. Yeah, he says he wants to be a bodybuilder.
That's
So
good. It's good that his mom is doing this, and that inspires him. You know.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's a lot of work to be, especially to be a parent and also to do the sport of bodybuilding. Because the fact is, this is not very. Even though like I said, you're a different level compared to what I do, like NPC IFBB. It still has a lot of cost to it. Sometimes like this show you did, you're lucky that it was like not too far from home.
right.
But there's
Yeah,
so much that you invest to it.
yeah, it gets it's very expensive. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's expensive, but you really gotta love it. You gotta love what you do. So
Yeah, that's why I talk to ladies tell me you have to really love this sport because
mhm.
especially for y'all women, it's more of a cost to it because that little like I keep saying this for guys, all they got to pay for is their banana hammocks, a pair of board shorts. That's it. You ladies have to get your hair done. You get your suits.
Yeah,
Everything has to look presentable.
yeah, you gotta get your makeup. They look at everything, Manny Petty. So they look at everything. They look at everything. Your
Yeah,
tan. It's a lot, but the men gotta get tan too. But it's a lot. You know.
yeah. His shit's with a video interview with my man KL. You want to check it out? I'll leave the link later in the description if anybody want to check it out. And also, you were at the Olympia. What was that like being there?
Oh, Mr. Olympia. Oh my God, that was dope. That was such a great experience. The first one I went to it was in 2021. It was in Orlando. That venue was actually a really nice venue. It was
Uh-huh.
super organized. The stage was humongous. The energy was like unbelievable, and it was so dope. Like I got a chance to meet all my favorite bodybuilders, the ones that I would only know, the ones that you only see on TV and on Instagram. You could actually meet them, and most of them are like super cool. Like I met Jay Cutler, I met Ronnie Coleman. I met Sid Gillen, I met Andrea Shaw.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I met Jessica Reyes Padilla. I met so many bodybuilders. I met Big Remy. He was a two-time Mr. Olympia back then. Yeah, I
Yeah.
met so many people. Kai Green. Um, yeah, it was an amazing experience. I had a great time, and I went the following year too. I went to the one in Vegas in 2022.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I liked Orlando better. I thought it was it's a better venue. It was better organized than Vegas. I think Vegas. No, I think with Vegas, there's so much going on in Vegas. It's just a lot of confusion in general because it's Vegas. But Orlando, there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, besides like Disney and stuff,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
Orlando, I liked Orlando better than the Vegas venue.
Well, I know what some ladies would tell me they liked it because the venue was more close together to the motels, and then
Yeah.
you had something to do afterwards. With Vegas, it's very more adult oriented. So if you come there with kids, there's not much for you to do with your family.
Mm-hmm.
I know because it was, that's where they started doing the Olympia on
Yeah.
weekend in Vegas. Because it used to be like Miss Physique, Miss Olympia,
Uh huh.
and Mr. Olympia were separate. They were separate, but then
Yeah.
I think because of safety costs, decided to have one big, event, and that was always Vegas. But then because of the pandemic, because of
Mm-hmm.
the guidelines that set in Nevada, they moved
Yeah.
it to Florida, which is not as Florida, whatever. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
into it, but but they liked it because I know somebody told me they liked the venue a lot better. But
Yeah.
maybe they might bring it back next year because because it was the 60th Olympia for this year, and did you watch it, the Olympia?
Yeah. Yeah. I watched it for the last because I didn't. I went in 2021 and 22. So, but last year and this year I watched it
Hmm.
on pay-per-view. And
What's your
then,
thoughts on it? What's your thoughts?
oh man, I was so happy Samson won Mr. Olympia. I was rooting for Samson. I was rooting for him really hard. So well deserved. I was happy. And it was bittersweet too. Like Sid Gillen, she retired. You know, I was I was happy and I was happy for her, but I was also sad to see her. Because she's like such a phenomenal athlete. I love Andrea Shaw. No, she's my favorite. Chris Bumstead, I think Chris Bumstead has a phenomenal physique too. I was sad when he retired too. I love watching. I mostly watch Olympia for the women. I'm all for the women. Those are my favorite. But I like watching the men too. But I mostly watch it for the women. And yeah, it was a great show. It was a great.
Well, well, for me, I especially I do my content mostly. It may not be the '80s, but I'm down with the ladies. I like, especially one of my favorite person is, as you just mentioned. I love Andrea Shue. She's so beautiful. She's
Yeah,
so
she is.
amazing. I
She is.
mean,
She's oh my God,
this
have you ever met her?
no. Well, here's something that you
Yeah.
know what. This is something that
Mm.
a friend of mine named Eunice. Eunice runs her own company, Bad Rap. They do a lot of, I'll send you a link, you want to check her out. They do a
Okay.
lot of apparel stuff for bodybuilding, especially try to get women's bodybuilding into it.
Yeah.
She was there the year last year, and this is the issue of Muscle Development. It's the last issue that they ever had. The only issue I think they ever had a women's bodybuilder on the cover.
Yeah.
I still have a bunch of them in my with some comments I got, and she got me this issue. And then what she did was, because Eunice shot the Eunice, she was the one who made that video for me. She signed it. I mean, somebody said, and you put it into a thing, but I can't help it. I love it, and I hug it, and I call it George.
you have to go to Olympia. You have to meet her. She is so nice.
I know people that
She's
know her,
the nicest
and
person. She is so nice, and she's like very beautiful in person too.
yes,
She is. Yeah.
yeah, I love her. I mean, I feel a little stockish. She really, I would say this truthfully, she really brought something to women's bodybuilding needed for a long time, muscle and femininity. I
Yes.
mean, we debate about that, especially how people look at y'all women who get, even if you are just a natural competitor,
Yes.
women, people in general don't feel like should have muscle. It's like
Yeah.
this ideology that you're supposed to be soft and feminine, but can't you be
Yeah.
both, be a woman and an athlete?
Yeah. Definitely. I think I have muscles, but I feel like my look is I have a softer look. I'm not. I do have lean muscle. Like I can get very lean, like for my stage body. But I haven't had too many negative. There hasn't been too much negativity surrounded around my muscularity. I mean, of course, there's always a couple that they're gonna say something stupid like, you don't look good or whatever. But for the most part, I've gotten a lot of good feedback, a lot of positive feedback about my physique. You know, from men. Women are always supportive, but I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from men as well. And look, then I met Kay. He's supportive of women in bodybuilding. No, I met you today in person. I know we've been talking through IG, but you appreciate and you like a woman with a muscular physique. And there's other men out there like you who like a woman with a muscular physique. So I don't see how a woman having muscles just makes her any less feminine. You know, And you say it makes her look masculine. Most men I know don't have muscles. Most men I know aren't muscular.
That's true.
So
That's
how
true.
how's a woman with muscles masculine? you know?
That's the thing. That's the thing is everybody, think that if you put on just maybe a little muscle, then you're less woman.
No.
But it's about what you do as an athlete. You are in a sport where you want to compete. You just can't come in looking like anything.
Yeah.
And as you know, one thing is guys like me and KO, we are often we call like schmoes. But I'll take that because we admire what y'all ladies do. KO,
Yeah.
he's more of a fan of the women with muscle. I'm a fan of
Yeah.
women with muscle, but also a fan of the sport. Like I said, I've been following bodybuilding for a long time. My older brother used to get the muscle mags. I used to love looking at them, like guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, and
Yeah.
them. And then I got into my pubescent ages, when I started to a teenager and, my
Yeah.
mind and it was changing and my body was changing and something about y'all women, y'all buff women, y'all, you shredded and y'all just shape. I just kind of, we go hard wild over it. But, we understand there's so much work involved to it as a
Yes.
competitor, as a bodybuilder. Like, what would you think would be